Hello everyone, Gaara here and welcome to a brand new deck tech video. Today is a very special episode. Yeah, I just broke the world record with the biggest deck list screenshot in the history of Hearthstone. As you can see, this screenshot is so big it almost doesn't fit on the screen. Yeah, the reason is because I play 30 one-offs. It is a Reno Jackson Warrior deck. Without further ado, let's jump into the deck list and talk about all those 30 one-offs. So this is a deck that I submitted for the Time to Win tournament, and it is a Warrior control deck. And the reason why I decided to make a Reno Jackson Warrior control deck is really because I want to utilize my health total with using weapons to trade effectively into the board and then get maximum value out of Reno Jackson. And if you do that, if you build a deck around that, that card has like insane value. And I think the card is so good that you don't have to really make your deck weaker overall, because there's like plenty of good cards in the game that you can choose from, so you can just play like a bunch of very good cards and just one-offs. For example, instead of playing 2 Death Bites, you can play 1 Shredder and 1 Death Bite. The reason why you didn't play Shredders in Warrior before, even though it is the best 4-drop in the game, is because you don't have the room. 30 cards is not too much, and a lot of the times you have to really justify. If you play 1 copy of a card, why do you not play 2 copies of the card? If the card is really good in the deck, why do you just play 1 copy? And it also increases the consistency of the draw. If you play just 1 execute, you will rarely draw it when you need it. But when you play 2 copies of the card, you will most of the time have it when you need it. So let's go with the deck list here. I play 1 execute, as I just mentioned, 1 shield slam. This is probably the most painful card in the entire deck, because those cards are very strong and have insane synergy with the Warrior hero power, and just in general just super strong removal cards for just 1 mana. So to compensate the removals, I decided to play 1 BGH, which I didn't play before in my control warrior, because I don't think you need it, because you have the bash and the slams. Oftentimes you use shield slam on a minion that has 5 toughness, let's say Ancient of Lore, Druid of the Claw, something like that, and you can just kill them with bash, slam, weapon combination. So if you play double bash, double slam, you don't really need so much removal. Then you can use the executes and shield slam for cards like Dr. Boom or Ragnaros, whatever, giants, drakes, and so forth, and then you don't need the BGH, and it makes it more consistent, because cards like slam and bash are good against early minions. So, but 1 execute, 1 shield slam are not enough, and it's inconsistent to have just those 2 as removal. So I go back to the 1 BGH. You used to play 1 BGH in control arena anyways, and 1 bouncing blade. Bouncing blade is a really good card actually in certain matchups, but it is not played because you don't need to play it. Like, you have the BGH, you have the double execute, double shield slam, you don't need so much removal. So it is like not as good as an execute or shield slam, but it's still a very good card. So to get like enough removals in the deck, you just play 4 one-offs of those 4 removal cards. Also Gorehowl. Gorehowl is a very powerful card, especially now when almost nobody plays Harrison Jones, and you can get like a sick amount of trades, and this card has insane synergy with the Reno Jackson. But first let's go over the 1 mana cards. So as I just said, 1 execute, 1 shield slam, 1 whirlwind. It's very good against paladins, obviously, because of Master for Battle, and also to proc like avenge and stuff and then execute stuff. It's pretty good combo card. It's good for enabling Gromarsh or drawing cards from the Acolyte and so forth. 1 Zombie Chow. Zombie Chow is an excellent card. It's a very powerful card in control decks in general. You see this card being played in Dragon Priest, Shaman, Paladin, But you never see it in Warrior, and the reason is you have double Warwick, you have double Armor Smith, you have double Slam, stuff like that, a Taskmaster, you don't need it. But in a Reno Jackson deck, you play one, because, yeah, you don't want to play two anyways, but one is pretty good. So when you have just one Warwick, you can go for one Zombie Chow, it's a pretty good replacement. Especially when you go first. When you go second, it's not as strong, but when you go first and you have the Zombie Chow as Control Warrior, pretty good against aggro decks. One Slam, I would play one Slam anyways, at least one Slam, if not two. It's a pretty good card, a combo card for with your minions, with your weapons to remove stuff. It enables you a draw. One Armor Smith. I don't think Armor Smith is so strong anyways anymore, because you have the Justica, you get so much armor anyways in the late game. You don't really need it, there's no Patron Warriors. You beat Freeze Mage regardless. Against aggro decks it's oftentimes not so good, because aggros are getting stronger, having like more mid-rangey creatures that just like Shredders, or like Hybrid Tender play Shredders, which just kills Armor Smith. Doesn't really kill like a Knife Juggler or anything, it's just there giving armor. It's a good card, don't get me wrong, but it's not like as good as it used to be against Face Hunter, where you just kill one drops. But still, like having one Armor Smith, it doesn't hurt you too much. Taskmaster, I think you just played one Taskmaster or zero Taskmaster anyways now in Control Warrior, so one Taskmaster is completely fine. Nothing wrong with playing one Taskmaster. It's pretty good against aggro as well, and enables your Grimmage, enables your draw, enables your execute, enables your BGH. One Loot Hoarder. I think that the reason why I play one Loot Hoarder as a 2-drop, I have room for early game, because I can only play one Acolyte, and only one Shield Block. You kind of want to have a little bit more draw. I don't play Azure Drake because the card would be bad in the deck, and from the draw mechanics, Loot Hoarder kind of fits well. It's like a pretty good 2-drop, it's a pretty good card, it trades with certain things. Like when you have nothing to play, you rather have a Loot Hoarder than just do nothing. So I'm gonna test it a little bit more, but I think for now it's fine. One Bash, obviously. One Bash or two Bashes are mandatory right now. It's such a good card because it heals you for free and deals free damage, very flexible. You can combine it with weapons. It's like a Rock Biter weapon, if you wanna see it like that. Bouncing Blade, as I mentioned, Shield Block. One Shield Block was fine in Control Warrior. You didn't have to. Most people cut already one Shield Block, so that's like pretty standard. The Acolyte, as I just mentioned, you can play only one copy of. I don't think it's as core as it used to be. It would be nice with the Whirlwinds, but when I have just one Whirlwind, one Taskmaster, one Despite, second Acolyte wouldn't be as good anyway, so it's completely fine. But you definitely would play one. BGH one, pretty core, pretty standard. One Despite, Hearthstone play two, but honestly, when you wanna play Gorehowl, 5 weapons would be too much anyway, so I kinda like it. Like, you never flood your hands with weapons. When you draw one, you know it's awesome, and Shredder is good anyways. Like, Shredder is just an awesome card, and you see it more and more in Control Warriors that want to be more mid-rangey, playing Shredders in their deck, so pretty good. It doesn't really hurt you to play one Shredder or Despite, because Shredder is just such an insane 4-drop. Sunjin is like another card, I'm not so sure, because as you can see, I don't have many taunts. I can only play one Sludge Belcher, and this is really what I noticed. I didn't want to play a Ghoul in this deck. I think it would be like too early game focused, so I think one Sunjin, one Belcher, this combo is fine. I really want to, like with this deck, as you can see, I really want to play stuff early because you cut the Vorax. So you're like stronger against early game decks like Tempo Mage or whatever. So one Brawl, pretty core. One Harrison because I want to beat control decks, and it's pretty actually because this deck is pretty good against Paladins, Cancer Deans, with Whirlwinds and Taskmaster, Armor Smith and stuff. Harrison is pretty good, like also because of Reno Jackson mainly. You have the time to draw cards with Harrison, even if you get low of the time. Oftentimes you just drop low because of the damage you have to tank with the weapons and the early game plays the opponents has. Then you can just heal yourself full and just like after you play Harrison, you will probably be very low on life. But with the Harrison, it's with the Reno Jackson afterwards, it's completely fine. You can stabilize with the Brawler or something like that. Really like it. It's pretty good. One Sludge Belcher hurts a little bit to play do not play 2, but I think one Saint-Germain Sludge Belcher is actually pretty good replacement. It's also a little bit faster. One Shield Maiden, you used to cut one Shield Maiden anyways for one Justicar, so that's pretty perfect. One Sylvanas, you only play one anyways. Just one Gorehowl, it's really good against Priest, Mirror Matches, Druids, and other warriors. It's very strong in control based fights, and the Reno Jackson really enables Gorehowl perfectly. One Baron Geddon, it's really good in Warrior, especially against Shaman and Hunter and Paladins. One Dr. Boom. One Obsidian Destroyer, not so sure about this card. I will probably replace it with KT, but I really wanted to test it, and I kinda liked it because you can't BGH anything, everything. Like some people would BGH my Boom, and then I deal with the BGH, and then I play this card, and it's very difficult to kill it, so because of that I really like it. When you think about it, if the token, the Scarab, would be a 1-2 taunt, I think this card would be played all the time. It's like core. Or like if it would be a 2-2 taunt, it would be a no-brainer to play this card. If it would be a 1-2 taunt, it would be probably played in most decks. And because it's a 1-1 taunt, nobody wants to play it. So just the 1 health difference, I still like it. It's not bad compared to Dr. Boom. It sucks, but there's no other good 7-drop besides Dr. Boom. Yeah. So I wanna play it. Like it's worse than Baron Geddon, I think. But for now, I just like it because it also produces taunts. Like you can't ignore it as a aggro deck. Like if I have enough life with the Reno Jackson play this card, it's like your opponent has to kill it, or else I get to taunt every turn. One Gourmage, pretty standard, and one Sierra. So overall, pretty good deck. I will definitely upgrade it because I have to test it more. It's a very difficult deck to build, and there's an insane amount of options for all slots, and I have to play many games to make this deck perfect. But I'm working on it. I really like it, and hope you guys like it as well. I'm also gonna show you some games. So see you in the games.